Here I've got a 28mm Tokina F-28. I'm not sure when it was made. My guess is late 70s, early 80s, and I'm going to go over my thoughts on the lens. Okay, so here's the Tokina 28mm. A little closer look at it. I used a metal lens cap. That's what I had. That was 49mm in terms of a filter thread. It's a pretty nice lens. Pretty sure the outer body's plastic, which I'm not crazy over. 6-bladed aperture. The the focus ring is all right. It's not completely smooth, and it feels like some of the tension in it is a bit different, but I've got to imagine it is more than 30 years old, so it's still totally functional, which I have no complaints over. This lens in the Nikon F-Mount runs about maybe $50 at most on eBay. I wasn't able to find any on Amazon, and weighs 186 grams with the metal lens cap that I was using and the rear lens cap. So it's about 6.6 ounces, somewhere in there, and it's not super huge or anything like that. So overall, a decently nice lens. I think it's probably pretty good value for the price. And let's take a look at a series of test images. For the series of test images, I chose the backstop of a Little League field. It was nearby. It was a pretty windy day out, so the clouds will be moving and the lighting will be changing a little bit. It was what I had to work with. I shot these with a D750, normal vignette control on. What I normally shoot with, wasn't getting fancy or anything, and I just set it to aperture priority mode, focused on the center pillar so that I could just quickly go through and get an idea of how the lens does. What I notice is that there appears to be some slight distortion along the edges of the image. I don't think it's super bad or anything like that, but I do feel I can kind of notice it. And there's some light vignetting in the corners, nothing too bad. Zooming in 1:1, it does look a little soft. I was focused right on the pillar. But the chain links look generally all right. I mean, it's a very inexpensive lens. I think they're going for whatever someone can manage to get on eBay. They don't look to be selling that well, but this was 2.8, and at a 4, I feel like there's still maybe some very slight vignetting in the corners. Would be really easy to take care of. You can see kind of the clouds moving and stuff, and it definitely got noticeably sharper going down a stop, and trash can looks good, and I feel like there's definitely fall off in sharpness at the edges of the image. Yeah, well, we'll see if that continues. F5.6. I think that looks pretty nice. A little washed out, but I mean, it was in the middle of the day with the sun. Got to deal with what you've got to deal with. And looking at the grass, trying to get an idea of how sharp things remain. I mean, this should be within the depth of field for what it's focused on, and it still seems a little out of focus over here, and I think that's going to continue throughout the lens. So F8, I'm doubting there's going to be a huge difference. Center looks pretty good. Go over to this side. I mean, still it looks slightly soft to me. So definitely not sharp corner to corner. Usually not bothered by that at all. And in the foreground, looking at the grass, you know, it's tough to say. It was really windy, so probably going to be motion blur with that. Stop down this far. F11, go over the corner again, or the edge, and that still looks soft, but in a little bit, definitely sharper. I think it's looking all right. F16, this is where I generally start to notice diffraction on the D750, and I'm going to have to say it's starting to look not as sharp. This doesn't seem very sharp, and the links, and going over to the side. So, I mean, still not sharp, and that should, I mean, easily, I mean, everything should be in focus. I mean, the grass up here is in focus, which is looking like it's all right. And if we go over here, I mean, that doesn't really seem that, seems a little soft. And finally, F22. And yeah, I mean, not looking so great. Not sharp. Diffraction is definitely rearing its head. Overall, I mean, it's a decent lens. I don't think I would go out of my way to pick one up. I think that the Nikon 28mm 2.8 is a better choice. It's going to be more expensive, but I think it produces nicer images. But if you do come across one of these for just really cheap, you know, less than $20, maybe less than 10, you know, that's always fun to grab. But other than that, not super blown away. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit subscribe so you get more helpful videos in the future. And also there should be links around for other videos that you'd also find helpful. Thanks.